Joining me now is royal commentator Jack Stooks to delve down a bit more into this story. Jack, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Jack, I'm gobsmacked by this one, particularly the fact that Harry is once again trashing his family, and in particular I'm upset about what he said about his dad. It's like, well, Dad doesn't talk to me. I don't know how much longer he's got. I'm paraphrasing slightly. I don't know how much longer he's got to live. I mean, that is just outrageous, isn't it?
I think, I mean, yes and no. I think that the problem is that Harry might be thinking in the sense that he lost his mother at an early age. He didn't get a chance to, for instance, say goodbye to her and, have that time. And he's now since found out that his father's got this cancer diagnosis. And for one of a bit, like, I think none of us really know how much longer he has. So he might be referring to it in that way rather than, trying to have a dig at the king. So it's a little bit difficult not being sure exactly where the context is in what he's saying. But, it does seem that time and time again he says things. But, this might be that he might be saying it so that his father might see this and go, actually, let's just phone him. But as we all know, every time he speaks, it sort of the shutters come down more and more with the royal family. So it is unfortunate what is happening. But, the palace will obviously protect the king, and they'll stop him being able to reach the king because they don't obviously want him getting worse. His diagnosis is already bad as it is. So they'll be trying to protect the king from any worse stories coming out, because that will affect his health.
I mean, the thing is, Jack, you've worked with the royal family. You know how they do close ranks when things like this happen.
Yeah.
But they are still human. It's still going to hurt. There's no way that this will be kept from the king. He will be aware of it. It went out on the BBC. Yeah. He will be very aware of these comments. He is human. This is his son. It's going to hurt, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that is that word. I think there's a lot of hurt on both sides. And I think with that interview, we can see that Harry is hurting. I think, he's obviously missing England. He's obviously missing what he had here. And yes, he's not, innocent in all of that. There have been things, there's been stories told that have come from him. And this is the difficult part of it. He's suddenly gone, okay, no, well, I'm saying that I completely am at peace now with my family hurting me, and now it's up to them. And that's a little bit of a difficult one, because, we've seen this time and time again in stories, time and time again in interviews, and somehow the story comes out and it might be something badly against the Queen, or badly against the Princess of Wales or the Prince of Wales. And that's why they're going further and further back, which is completely understandable. But at the same time, it's the Harry that I know and that I used to really care about, that we all did when we used to see him at events, he's very much, the heart and soul of the party. He absolutely loved his family. So something's gone wrong, and that's where the problem is. And, when I think was it 2020, when suddenly this new term was penned that they are no longer working royals, there wasn't such a term as you're not a working royal. You were either royal or you weren't. And, suddenly it came out, you're now like this new, disease. You're not a working royal. So there has been hurt, and you can see why there's hurt. But, the retaliation hasn't been a wise move.
Do you think something that's gone wrong is Meghan?
I mean, yes and no. I think something that's gone wrong is definitely within the new family unit, and we can't put blame on Meghan or on Harry. It's difficult to put a blame exactly. Nobody knows where the pinpoint is in this. Hence why this argument rages on. Sort of what he said 5 years later, and we're still unaware what's going on, and we're just sort of surmising as to he said, she said. But how good would it be if they all just went into a room and hashed it out?
Yeah, oh, absolutely, but it looks increasingly like that's never going to happen. I mean, does Harry? I mean, it's like you know the royal family, you work with them for long enough. I mean, does Harry have no self-awareness whatsoever? I mean, he was a bit of a lad. We know, there's sort of like, we served in the army, at the strippers in Las Vegas and all that sort of thing, the drug confession, etc., etc. But this is a different level. It's like having no self-awareness of how words can actually be more hurtful than actions.
Yes, but I think when you're in this situation where you feel nobody's listening to you, you keep talking and you just keep hoping that the more you talk, the more somebody's going to listen. And, we all know full well that doesn't work, that sometimes the less you say, the better it is in a situation. And we've all done it, we've all tried to come out of a hole, and you sort of talk and talk and talk yourself out of it, but all the way through you're going deeper and deeper down into this hole. And unfortunately, that's what he's doing. It's a very sad, tricky moment for them all. But the king isn't well. I mean, we all know he isn't well, and he's obviously, Harry's now realizing that. Yes, I mean, he said we don't know how long he's got left. I mean, we don't know how long you or I have left.
Of course.
But I think for him, maybe he's now seeing his children growing up without them seeing the grandparents, without them having that extra love from the grandparents. And we don't know what's going on with Meghan's father, for instance, as well. Is he seeing them? And there's these two innocent children in this, and they're being robbed of all this love.
Yeah, and that's the point, actually, isn't it? It's the kids involved without any grandparents at all. OK, thank you very much, Jack. That's Jack Stu.
So, here we are again, Royal Sussex Squad, standing in awe at the latest chapter in the journey of a family that continues to live, thrive and heal in the face of noise, scrutiny and endless commentary from those who still don't understand what true royalty looks like. And this time the spotlight isn't just on Harry or Meghan, it's on little Prince Archie. Yes, our young prince, just 6 years old, already embracing freedom, nature, strength and self-expression. Archie has taken up a new hobby, surfing, and with that simple, beautiful act, he's showing us all exactly what happens when a child is raised in love, away from toxicity, and allowed to grow on his own terms. Now, some people might brush this off. It's just surfing, they'll say. Kids do that all the time. But let me tell you something. When you're the son of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, two people who walked away from centuries of tradition and chose peace over performance, nothing is ever just anything. Archie surfing isn't just a child learning to ride waves. It is symbolic. It is radical. It is the physical manifestation of a decision made years ago when his parents looked at each other and said, "We choose our family, we choose our sanity, we choose to live." Archie out there on the beaches of Montecito, board in hand, tiny feet in the sand, is a scene that speaks volumes. He isn't being photographed for the cover of a British tabloid. He's not being shoved in front of cameras at Trooping the Colour. He's not being paraded around like a trophy of the crown. He's just being, just living, learning, falling, getting back up again, just like his parents did, just like so many of us had to. And doesn't that make you smile? Doesn't that make you breathe a little deeper, knowing that Harry and Meghan didn't just make it out, they built something better? And now their son is not just surviving, he's thriving. According to child development expert Dr. Amanda Gummer, surfing has benefits that go far beyond the physical. It builds resilience, independence, self-awareness. It teaches patience. It teaches kids to stay present, to trust their instincts and to get up again and again after being knocked down. Now tell me, who does that sound like? Who else have we seen fall, be ridiculed, shamed, vilified, attacked, and yet rise over and over again with grace and dignity? That's right, Harry and Meghan. That's the spirit being passed on to their children, not bitterness, not trauma, not tradition for tradition's sake, but strength, joy, courage, intention. And let's talk about intention because it's at the core of everything the Sussexes have done since they stepped away from royal life. The media wanted us to believe they were reckless, that they didn't have a plan, that they were running from something. But what's becoming clearer with every passing year is that they weren't running away. They were running towards something far more meaningful, a real life, a whole life, A life where Archie could learn to surf, where Lilibet could dance in the garden, where the sound of crashing waves replaces the echo of palace whispers. And in that life, we see parenting at its most powerful. Meghan, who was relentlessly attacked just for daring to speak her truth, is raising a child who knows his worth, who will grow up with confidence, not confusion, who will learn that his identity is not limited by a title nor defined by the shade of his skin. She is giving her children something the monarchy never could: wholeness. Meghan has been demonized for doing what every mother is supposed to do, protecting her child, and now we're seeing the fruits of that. Her choices are shaping a generation. Archie is not living in fear. He's not weighed down by institutional expectations. He's playing, he's growing, he's becoming. And Harry, oh Harry, he's not just the spare anymore. He's a father, a guide. A man who faced the trauma of his own childhood, the paparazzi hounding his mother, the coldness of palace life, the trauma of being silenced, and said, "It stops with me." Surfing with his son, sharing that love of the ocean, that freedom, it's more than bonding, it's legacy. It's healing. It's Harry breaking the chains that once bound him and making sure his son never has to carry those same burdens. When you think about the British royal family, what do you see? Protocols. Stiff upper lips, smiles masking pain, loyalty to an institution that often fails to be loyal in return. But when you look at Harry, Meghan, Archie and Lilibet, what do you see? You see warmth, you see freedom, you see truth, you see the future. And that's what enrages the press. That's what sends certain palace insiders into a frenzy. They know the Sussexes are winning, not in titles or in ceremonies, but in real, authentic happiness. They can't control the narrative anymore because Harry and Meghan don't need them anymore. They don't rely on palace PR or royal press packs. They have their own voices, they have their own platforms, and they have their children growing and flourishing under the California sun. Let's not forget, this same press refused to even put Archie's birth on their front pages. They hounded Meghan throughout her pregnancy. They printed racist headlines. They let palace staff leak against her with impunity. They stripped her of protection and then had the audacity to blame her for leaving. And now those same people want to act like they care. They want to report on Archie's surfing lessons like they're suddenly interested in his well-being. Please, the hypocrisy is laughable. They're not happy for the Sussexes. They're frustrated that despite all their efforts, despite the smear campaigns, the snide columns, the relentless lies, Harry and Meghan continue to rise. And now their children are rising too. Archie is learning to surf, and with every wave he rides, he's proving that his parents made the right choice, that their love and sacrifice were not in vain, that you can walk away from the palace, from the press, from the expectations of a nation and build something better. We are watching the birth of a new kind of royalty, one that doesn't rely on gold carriages or centuries-old tradition, but on authenticity, purpose and joy. And the best part? It's just the beginning. Imagine Archie growing up connected to nature, not protocol. Imagine Lilibet walking barefoot through the garden, not down red carpets lined with photographers. Imagine the stories they'll tell, the lives they'll lead, because their parents dared to say, "Enough." This is why we ride for the Sussexes, because they remind us that we don't have to settle for what we're given, that we can rewrite the story, that we can choose joy, even when it costs everything. So as Archie rides those waves, let us be reminded that every time he falls and gets back up again, he's carrying a legacy not of royalty but of resistance, of redemption and of radical love. And if that's not the kind of royal story worth celebrating, I don't know what is. So to all my Royal Sussex Squad members around the world, I say this: stand proud, stand strong. Continue to show up for this family with your love, your loyalty and your voice. They may not hear the haters anymore, but they definitely hear us, and it matters. If you believe in what we do here, if you believe in the truth, in love, in this family's journey, then now's the time to act. Hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications and drop a super thanks to help us keep this movement going. Every like, every comment, every bit of support helps us drown out the noise and amplify the truth. The wave is rising, and together we ride it. Prince Archie, developing independence and patience as young royal takes up new hobby. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's eldest child was born in London but lives in California. Prince Archie is developing independence and patience with his new hobby, a commentator has claimed. The 6-year-old was spotted taking up a popular Californian pastime last weekend, attending surfing lessons at a local beach near his home in Montecito. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex's son appears to be following in the footsteps of his father, Prince Harry, who surfed at Kelly Slater's surf ranch in California in 2024. Prince Archie developing independence and patience as young royal takes up new hobby. Dr. Amanda Gummer, chair of the Association of Play Industries and founder of Fundamentally Children, said surfing offers a range of developmental benefits for children. She said, "Surfing gives children a brilliant all-round workout. It helps them build strength, especially in their arms, legs and core, and also supports balance, coordination and motor skills. Learning to paddle and stand on the board develops muscle control and body awareness, while time spent in the sea boosts swimming confidence and general water safety." As well as physical fitness, Dr. Gummer said surfing can help children build resilience and confidence. She continued to tell Hello, surfing helps them focus, stay present, and manage their emotions. It builds resilience, as learning to surf involves a lot of falling off and getting back up again. Children feel a real sense of achievement when they catch a wave, which can do wonders for their confidence. If a child chooses a solo sport like surfing, it often means they enjoy their own company and are comfortable setting personal challenges. Surfing can help children develop independence, patience, and self-motivation. Although it might look like a solitary activity, there's still plenty of opportunity to connect with others through group lessons or spending time on the beach with friends and family. It's a sport that offers both freedom and community, which can be a perfect mix for some children. Archie's lessons may also reflect a growing bond with Prince Harry. Dr. Gummer explained. Children often take an interest in the things their parents love, and this can be a really meaningful way to connect. Archie taking up surfing, just like his dad, suggests they share a sense of adventure and a love of the outdoors. It shows that Archie looks up to Harry and wants to explore the world in a similar way. Activities like this can help strengthen their bond and create lasting memories, while also passing on values around health, fun and appreciation of nature. This has been Royal Sussex Squad. Until next time, stay bold, stay kind, and never let anyone tell you your truth doesn't matter. We stand with Harry, we stand with Meghan, we ride with Archie, and we never back down.